The Nanaimo bar is a dessert item of Canadian origin popular across North America. It is a bar dessert which requires no baking and is named after the West Coast city of Nanaimo, British Columbia. It consists of a wafer crumb-based layer topped by a layer of light vanilla or custard-flavored butter icing which is covered with melted chocolate made from chocolate squares. Many varieties exist, consisting of different types of crumb, different flavors of icing, and different types of chocolate. Origins: the exact origin of the bar is unknown, though it is attributed to Nanaimo, British Columbia. Though the recipe was reported as appearing in the annual Ladysmith & Co. Wiccan Women's Institute cookbook, no such cookbook has been found and there is no record of this organization. The earliest confirmed printed copy of the recipe using the name Nanaimo bars appears in the Edith Adams Prize Cookbook from 1953. A copy of the book is on view at the Nanaimo Museum. However, following research into the origins of Nanaimo bars, Lenore Newman writes that the same recipe was published in the Vancouver Sun earlier that same year under the name London Fog Bar. The recipe later also appears in a publication entitled His Her Favorite Recipes, compiled by the Women's Association of the Brecon United Church, with the recipe submitted by Joy Wilgres, a Baltimore, Maryland, native. This recipe also is reprinted in Kim Blank's book, Sex, Life Itself, and the original Nanaimo bar recipe. In 1954 the recipe Mabel's Squares was published in the Country Woman's Favorite by the Upper Gloucester Women's Institute. The recipe was submitted by Mrs. Harold Payne, the daughter of Mabel Scott. The ingredients list, quantities, and fabrication closely match the recipe found on the City of Nanaimo website. The first printing of recipes featuring Nanaimo bar ingredients is found in the 1952 Women's Auxiliary to the Nanaimo Hospital Cookbook, which features 3 nearly identical recipes that differ only slightly from the modern Nanaimo bar. They are referred to as the chocolate square, or the chocolate slice. Other unconfirmed references date the bars back to the 1930s, when it was said to be known locally as chocolate fridge cake. Some New Yorkers claim the recipe originated in New York and refer to them as New York slices. However, Tim Hortons coffee shops, a Canadian chain, sell them in New York as Nanaimo bars. One modern reference even refers to the bars existing in 19th-century Nanaimo. Nanaimo bar culture. The popularity of the bar in Nanaimo led local residents to mobilize to have it voted Canada's favorite confection in a National Post reader survey. In 1985, Mayor Graham Roberts initiated a contest to find the ultimate Nanaimo bar recipe, and the recipe submitted by Joyce Hardcastle, a resident of Nanaimo, was unanimously selected by a panel of judges. Recipes for similar desserts are found in various places and under various names in North America and Europe. The designation Nanaimo bar is Canadian. Nanaimo bar appears in the Canadian Oxford Dictionary but not in other language or dialect versions. 1988, Stefano's Bakery in Killaloe, Ontario, created a version of Nanaimo bars that they sold on college campuses throughout Ontario. The term is also common in the American Pacific Northwest and has been used in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Tokyo, and Sydney because of international popularization of the bar by the Seattle-based Starbucks coffee chain. In the 2003 Christopher Guest movie A Mighty Wind, the character of Mickey Crab says, "I'd consider going home, making a nice tray of Nanaimo bars, lying in bed and watching Chva. That's what I like doing." In 2011 The Ron James Show, produced by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, explored the origins of the Nanaimo bar in a mockumentary segment where James traveled to Nanaimo, British Columbia. Outside Canada, similar delicacies are found outside of Canada, particularly in the Pacific Northwest, Minnesota, and New York City. They can be found in Los Angeles at Soleil Petit Soleil, a French-Canadian restaurant and poutine bar on Westwood Boulevard, where they're an off-the-menu item, with coconut in the wafer layer. They have been sold in Southport, United Kingdom, in shops and restaurants since the 1980s. In 2009, Dirt Candy, a New York City restaurant owned and operated by chef Amanda Cohen, put a version of Nanaimo bars, on the menu, inspiring several Canadians, 2, to protest that their unique dessert was being Americanized. Nanaimo bars can also be found in Australian coffee shops in large cities. Nanaimo bars are also sold in Vientiane, Laos, at some small coffee shops along the Mekong River as well as at the Hammer restaurant in Taipei, Taiwan. You can also find Nanaimo bars in Alicante, Spain. A Canada Cupcake Cafe copyright. See also: List of desserts, references.